I know what you're thinking when you see the thumbnail of this video. He loves Roadhog? Why? Roadhog is broken, he sucks, he's terrible to play, he's terrible to play against, he's the worst. He's almost as bad as Sombra, Symmetra, you know? Why would you ever play Roadhog? And the simple answer is, he has a little bit of everything, and I love it. I was initially a support main in Overwatch 2 after I, did a little bit of experimenting. I landed on support for a good majority of my time in the last 2 years playing this game. And Roadhog was my favorite tank because of that. I could heal myself, and it made it so much easier to, if I had bad teammates or just supports who couldn't aim well or heal me, I could just heal myself, go around the corner, all that. Helped me get better at positioning too, playing Roadhog. But I also like his hook. Lets me displace people, get them out of position, bring them close to kill them with his one-shot combo, which is now harder to do, but also easier with Pigpen. We'll get to that later. And then I love that he's tanky. He's a big boy. He got a lot of HP. He's got the other passive stuff that all tanks have. And to me, it just feels good. The reasons people don't like Roadhog is because of all this combined. And I do get it. I get why people don't like Roadhog, and I get why people find him maybe a little boring, but I just have to say I disagree. I think he's really fun to play, and he's fun to play against, because it's all down to who has better positioning and better usage of their cooldowns and resources as of current Roadhog state. Because if I were to go against a team, if I look at their team and I see an Ana, I'm like, okay, I might not play Roadhog, but if I really wanted to play Roadhog today, I'll still play Roadhog. Because unless this Ana is landing every sleep, every nade type thing, or at least every nade, I can play around her. I can just avoid going into the enemy while I'm antied. It's not that much of an issue for me. It's really never been an issue, even when you had the one pump of breather. But I find her even less of an issue now, just because of all the passives and stuff tanks get with the roll passives. Now, once you add like a Sombra into the mix is where I'm like, okay, this is gonna get annoying. I might stay hog, but it's gonna get annoying. And then you get like maybe not a Doomfist, but like you get just another more mobile tank against you that can just avoid you. So unless I can get him with my hook, I mean, I'm out of options. And my favorite is a hog mirror, because it's all down to who has a better hook and who can execute upon that hook more often. Because I can tell you there's so many times where they'll swap hog against me because everything else does not work. D.Va, I usually don't have that many issues with the D.Va. Zarya, same thing, never that many issues. Reinhardt, not many issues. So when they mirror me, I get so happy because I'm like, okay, great, now we get to see who's actually better, Roadhog or me. Because it's down to now my skill versus the character itself. Because before that, you could make an argument that, yeah, Roadhog's broken against all these heroes and blah blah blah, even though those heroes I mentioned, aside from like Reinhardt, are supposed to be more counter picks. Which is why I just love him, because it can give you that sense, at least, of skill, in that you're just better. Because even though they've been going D.Va, Zarya, or these picks to make your life miserable, or make it to where you're not tanking, but they could be, but like, I'm just sitting here getting value because you're trying to swap against me, and it's not working. Why? Maybe because I'm the better player, and that's just how it is. And I've just always loved that about Roadhog. His ultimate, I think, could use work, but that's not what this video is about. This video is just my love letter to Roadhog, basically. And I don't think he deserves all the hate he should get. Do I think he deserves some of it? Every character deserves some of their hate. I'll be honest. I still don't get why people hate Roadhog, Sombra, Sim, Torbjorn. I don't know why they hate them so much. But I understand why they might dislike them. I dislike Echo. I think she's just annoying to play against because she's just like, before Pharah rework, she was just a more versatile Pharah, in my opinion, with less burst in ranged, like explosions, basically. She has less explosive potential, but overall is more annoying to me. And so, I just didn't like either that much. I really don't care because I don't see her that often. I don't play comp very often, and when I do, I'm a metal rank, so I won't see her that often. But when I did, I didn't enjoy it. And guess who I would go? If I was playing tank, I'd go Roadhog. Because if I can get that flyer after they use that flight, it's over. You're done, dude. You're in front of me with less than half HP now. After I've hooked and shot you, it's over. I am going to claim your life. And people say, oh, Roadhog is that character that you go when you're a DPS flexing on the tank. And that is true. I did go on the DPS after support, and then I swapped with tank and support for a little bit. And I did usually land with Roadhog. But I feel like Zarya is a much better pick for most DPS that I at least encounter, because I look at their profile, they're a DPS player, but they're on tank. They usually are Zarya, D.Va, or Ramattra before his weird change. I'm not going to get into it. Either way, I think Roadhog, like Symmetra, like Sombra, like Torbjorn, like every other character that gets hate in a certain aspect too much. I think it's too much. I think they get too much hate, and I just think we don't need to be so negative. While, yeah, we should express feelings about, hey, this character doesn't feel good to play against, don't go to the point where you're just avoiding people or reporting people off the simple fact that they're playing this hero. If they are playing the hero poorly on your team, okay, yeah, avoid them. Don't report them, though. If they're just playing bad, they're either having an off day, they don't play that character, or so many other reasons. If you're doing this in comp and you're like taking it seriously. Because I'll be honest, comp is not that serious. Yes, it is the more serious game mode than quick play, but it's not to the point where when people play a certain character, you say they're throwing. Just because Roadhog is not the optimal pick into like D.Va, Sombra, Ana, Juno, or whatever, just because he's not the optimal pick, or like Zarya, Winston, Reaper, Moira, they're not the optimal pick, doesn't mean you need to avoid people off that sole fact or report them. If they're playing bad too, okay. I never report people unless they're being abusive in chat or they're like hacking. Just because I think every other report option is just petty and based off of assumptions and biases against the certain type of player that you've encountered or against the hero. And I think that there just needs to be less hate in this community. And I think if we were all just more open and more like thinking about others and their mental state and what they could be doing, because most people who like play really bad, like, one, you're playing late night comp, so people are probably drunk, tired, frustrated, tilted, all this stuff. There's already like 4 or 5 reasons right there. And then it could be they're not used to the hero, but they're trying to play a meta pick and they're doing bad, or they're just not used to the hero, but it is a better pick than what they were playing before. So they're trying, they're just not performing well. But like still, I think we need more positivity in this community. And that is what this video boils down to. I know it took me like 7 minutes to get to it, but that's what this video boils down to. I love heroes that people don't like so much, and I don't get it. I don't want to get it, because I just disagree with it fundamentally. I think we need more love, I think we need less hate, and I think we just need to support each other and understand, like, hey, you like playing Sojourn because she's pretty good, she's pretty strong, she's pretty versatile. I understand that, that's cool. I like Roadhog because he's a big fat guy with a hook and he can heal himself. It's pretty useful, it's fun for me. Let me play him. I'm not going to report you, I'm not going to avoid you just because you play Sojourn or because you play Sojourn poorly. Because I don't care that much. If I want to win a game, like if I'm in comp, I'm not going to not try. I don't want that to be an assumption of me that you make. I try when it comes to comp. I will try my hardest. Maybe not my hardest, but I'll give a good 80-90% every game without fail. If I feel like I'm getting tilted, I stop playing. If I feel like I can't do anything, I will keep trying to do stuff. I'll keep trying on that character, I'll keep trying on the next character I'd swap to, whatever. But I just think people need to have less of their eggs all in one basket and need to be more open to taking out a few of your eggs and putting them in this different basket that could be better, and not just keeping it in this one basket because that's the basket that you started with. There's always a better basket, is what I'm trying to get at here. Is just we need to be a more united community because that's how change happens. I mean, look at jobs. People started unions, things changed. People came together, things changed. But our community is so divided between 5v5, 6v6, for instance. That's already a big division. But then you have the roles, big divisions on opinions, biases, and like stereotypes of those players. DPS players are usually more aggressive. These are according to stereotypes I've heard. DPS players are very aggressive, will tilt more, rage quit, blah blah blah. Tank, they're desperate or they're just tired. They just want things to change. And support players, stereotypes are they're whiny or very fruity. I don't know why. I mean, I see the trend happen too, but like it doesn't really matter. Like, who cares? And then we got even more divisions between, oh, these maps are good. Oh, I hate these maps. Oh, I like these reworks. Oh, I hate these reworks. Overwatch 1, Overwatch 2. There are so many divisions within our community of Overwatch 2. Some of them don't even want to be in Overwatch 2. They still want to be in Overwatch 1 because they are convinced it was better. Personally, from what I've heard, many like top players who are like more open-minded to change and stuff, they agree Overwatch 2 is overall better. Now, do they miss parts of Overwatch 1? Yes. Do they wish parts of Overwatch 2 just happened in Overwatch 1? Yes. But the point is, they're willing to compromise over their previous Overwatch 1 versus Overwatch 2 bias. And I think we all need to do this. We all need to make this change of, it's okay to like this thing, but it's not okay to put down this other thing just because it's not your thing, right? If I like playing Sombra, you like playing Bastion, I'm not gonna diss you for not playing Bastion, and I don't think you would diss me for playing Sombra, except you will, because most players have an issue with Sombra and Roadhog, Sim, and those characters. Well, yes, they are flawed. That's just how they started, and you're not gonna get many things where it's a complete overhaul. The Doomfist DPS to tank rework, they just changed his core mechanics and how they worked based off of other Overwatch 2 stuff they changed and just replaced an ability. That's all that rework was. The Sombra rework at first didn't even give her an additional ability or anything. They just changed up how stealth and translocator functioned a little bit, you know. Then they changed translocator, then they changed stealth, changed them both again, gave her virus, changed stealth, changed translocator. Sim, her reworks, they didn't really change that much if you look at it. Well, overall, so much changed. If you look at change to change, it's all these minor changes or just very small things, like slight changes that made so much of a difference. So when I see that people are like, oh, I like the Doomfist one, but I don't like the Sombra one, why? Is it because it didn't change really anything about Doomfist? Because nothing really changed about Sombra other than just her gameplay loop. But Doomfist's gameplay loop changed significantly from his hypermobile DPS to his hypermobile tank. And I think it's just at these lines, at these points, at these biases where we need to just look at it. We need to take a step back. We need to look at it and just think, why does it matter? Why are these different? Why do I care that they're different? In the end, that's still Doomfist. Doomfist still feels like Doomfist. Sombra still feels like Sombra. Roadhog still feels like Roadhog. So Who cares? Play the game. If you don't like Sombra, don't play Sombra. But that doesn't mean every time you fight a Sombra, you can just sit there and complain the whole match, and while everybody else literally does not care on your team. Like, I've had that happen where there'll be one guy complaining about, like, Moira, Sombra, whatever, but nobody else cares. And they'll be, like, in team chat, or if it's their own, like, Moira, Sombra, be like, oh, report our Moira, she's throwing. Meanwhile, she's, like, throwing out healing orbs, and then doing a little bit of damage, and then healing you when you're critical or something. It's like, but that's how you play Moira. Or for Sombra, you know, like, oh, they're spawn camping a Mercy. Like, oh, well, that's how they're choosing to play. But if it's making you win, why do you care? Or, oh, I'm being spawn camped by this Sombra, blah, blah, blah. Go a different hero. If you're playing a Mercy and you're getting spawn camped by a Sombra, do not sit there and get farmed for like 3 deaths before you swap to like Moira, or like message your team, be like, hey, there's a Sombra, can you please come pick me up? If they don't pick you up, go Brig, go Moira, go literally anything else. Don't sit there and die over and over just to complain when you could have 3 deaths ago, after you died once, swapped immediately, gotten it over with, swallowed your pride, and just not dealt with her. Then when you're with your team, she won't come after you, right? I've seen that so many times, and it's so annoying, and I just hate it. Because people are just so stuck in their ways in this game, in this community. And we need to not be stuck. We need to be open-minded, we need to change. We need to evolve. Again, change isn't always fun. It isn't always hype. Sometimes it's scary. But shut up. I mean, like, there's no nice way to put this. Just get over it. Change needs to happen, or else nothing will occur in this game that you like. But you will continue to give them money and hate the game, when you could instead enjoy the game for what it is, express what you dislike, band with other people that also agree, like, hey, I also don't like how this certain game mode function works, right? Then if you get enough people to say that, because you're saying it calm and collected and as a collaborative group of, hey, I don't like Clash, the way the new system is working, it's like getting so many more stomps against me and stomps for me, but I don't like it, then you express it. And if it reveals, if like people look at the data and they're like, yeah, we actually have been seeing that trend after a couple months, look at that, you were ahead of the curve, and you're going to help change that by being so ahead of that curve. But now that idea is going to be in the dev's mind or the streamer's mind, and he's going to be like, yeah, I have noticed that too. Or something else, like push is too slow, speed up the bot. You know, things like that. General things that you could just get a bunch of people behind that is true. Don't make things up. Like how, for instance, making things up, this is not an example of an issue I've seen, but, oh, healing on Lucio at the beginning of Overwatch 2, people were saying you heal on Lucio by shooting people. No, that was just never true. Or you could speed up pushbot as Lucio. Never true. Or blah blah blah. I just saw a thing that's like, oh yeah, Flashpoint doesn't actually speed up the more people you have on it. Yes, it does. I've literally looked at it, and that thing goes faster. I don't care what you tell me, that thing goes faster. And even if I'm wrong, I'm gonna stay by it. It goes faster if I have if I have 2 people versus 1 person. You know, like, or no people versus 1 person or 2 people. There is some type of speed there. I don't care what you tell me. But in the end, after all my yammering, after all my yapping, after all this random crap I've been saying, the point is, it is okay to say you like a function in any sort of game, any sort of show, any sort of community. It is okay to say, hey, I like the way this works, or I like how this character plays. I don't get it, but I like it. And if you guys don't, that's okay. That's my point here. It's okay to like things that people don't like. Like, I don't like maining characters, but people main characters, and they're really good at those characters. Like, if you took An Ashe who's only played Ashe the whole game, like the whole time they've ever played the game in Overwatch 2, let's say, versus my experience, they would be better on Ashe than me, and probably, if they were to switch, other hits games. But if I go, but if we go projectile heroes or tanks or supports, I might have the edge there because I'm more used to projectiles, hit scan, and all the other things. I have a more well-rounded, but you have a specialty. So if we're doing Widow v Widow and you're an Ashe main, you'll beat me on the Widow. But if we're doing Hanzo v Hanzo, theoretically I have the edge. And it's okay because I understand I'm sacrificing my effectiveness on one hero for more broad strategic gameplay, and I'm okay with that. I don't care. My theory is that if I play enough of the game on every hero, I will be good on every hero. At least enough to get to a point where I feel satisfied with my gameplay. Obviously, obviously your MMR and stuff always goes up in quick play even, so you'll always be challenged, but I still think that maining, I don't like it. I think it's dumb. I'm not gonna diss on you for maining, I'm just disagree. You main Tracer? Sick. I disagree. I like playing Tracer. I like playing Sim. I like playing Ashe. I like playing Winston, Ana, Zenyatta, Lifeweaver. That's a video for another time, Lifeweaver, Jesus. Need to make another Lifeweaver video. But anyway, again, my point is, if you've gotten through this video, thank you. I love you. I appreciate you and your support just by getting to the end of this video. It's a really long video that you have supported me enough, and I appreciate it. I would love if you would like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, or just comment and tell me what you liked, what you disliked, if you want me to yammer less, if you want me to yammer more because you like what I say or how I say it, or at least my points and like my evidence in my thought process. Because I know there are some people who will just say stuff, halfway explain it, and then keep going instead of explaining it. I don't know if I've done this video, but if I have, awesome. Let me know though. And with that, I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.